guys, welcome to The Weight of Things. My name is Michelle. If you are new here, please take this time right now to click that subscribe button below, as well as that bell, so that you can get notified of every time that I create a new video. In this video, what I'm going to be talking about today is how I lost and then gained back 100 pounds in the space of a year. Now, if you are not new to this channel, you probably already know that I am on a weight loss journey, but this is not my first weight loss journey, not my first rodeo. As a matter of fact, this is like, the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, who even knows. Before I was successful and I actually was able to lose 100 pounds. And in this video, I'm gonna get into how exactly I did that and then how I subsequently ended up gaining it all back. And the 5 mistakes that I've come to realize that caused that to happen. I had to really stop to think about how that ended up happening so that it wouldn't happen to me again in my new journey. And I wanted to share it so that it definitely won't happen to you. Now, although I've been on many different weight loss journeys, this one is kind of unique. This one is different because this time I'm actually taking my weight loss journey into my own hands. All the previous times before, I had been on different programs, Dr. Poon, I've been to different boot camps, I've been to trainers, and it's basically following some strict regimen that somebody else came up with. And I normally, as I've said in previous videos, do really well on them. I end up seeing results, I end up losing all the weight, but then I end up falling off. And most of the time when I fall off, I end up gaining not only the weight back that I've lost, but even more. And this is why I told myself that this is my, I feel like this is it. This is where I have to actually do this. And I needed to take this into my own hands because I'm at a point that if I were to gain this weight back and plus more, I don't even know where I'll end up. And so this is I feel like it's my last opportunity to kind of take my life back into my hands. And so I decided that on this journey, I needed to really sit down and think about how that ended up happening the last time and how I can prevent it from happening again. These 5 things that happened, they all kind of relate. And so they kind of fit together, and I don't want you to miss any of it.
So please make sure that you watch all the way to the end so that you don't miss any key points.
So firstly, before we get into the 5 things, I just want to let you guys know briefly how I ended up losing all of that weight, because I'll probably do a subsequent video. But in order to be able to properly explain these 5 mistakes that I made, I need to first delve into how I ended up losing those 100 pounds in the first place. Let me just say that firstly, I lost those 100 pounds within 7 months. And what essentially happened was I had just had my son and I was breastfeeding him. And so that was one of the key things that helped me to lose a lot of the weight as well. I lost about 30 pounds while I was breastfeeding, just strictly from breastfeeding. And then I started to get into a lot of fasting. Now, this wasn't actually fasting to lose weight because at that time I didn't know anything about fasting to lose weight, but I was attending a local church and they would do regular fasts. I wanted to always partake into those, but because I was breastfeeding and I didn't want my milk supply to go down, I wasn't able to do it while I was breastfeeding. But the fast that I did take part of was called a Daniel fast, where you literally only ate vegetables and fruits. And that was pretty much it. You couldn't eat carbs, you couldn't have sugars. So I had cut out all the sugar, I had pretty much cut out salt, and I was only eating vegetables and fruits. And I did that for 30 days. In those 30 days of just doing that, I had lost another 20 pounds. So at this point, I'm up to losing 60 pounds. After getting off that fast, I ended up going on another fast, which was the 21-day juice fast. And in that 21-day juice fast, I lost probably about another 15 or so pounds. And then a short time after that, I ended up going on another fast where I lost the rest of the weight. So pretty much all of my weight was lost with fasting. And I definitely think that fasting is great, not just for weight loss, as I said, but I think for your actual body to just get a break of having regular food, fasting is very good. Your body is built to be able to sustain off of things besides sugars and carbs and all the things that are not good for us in the first place. Your body can actually use fat for energy. And when you're fasting, that's what you force your body to do. You force your body to use your fat that it has stored up for energy. So essentially that's what happened to me. My body started burning all the fat and I started losing a ton of weight. Essentially within the 7 months, I had lost a total of 100 pounds. Well, about a few months after losing all of that weight, I actually started to gain a little bit back. I was no longer going to the church where I was, and I wasn't doing those rigorous fasts that I was doing anymore. So these are the 5 things that I believe happened. So the first thing that I think that led to me putting back on the weight was, number 1, I had a plan an eating habit that was unsustainable. I wasn't going to be able to consistently fast for 21 days every single month, only having juice. So obviously, once I started eating again, my body just started to store everything that I was eating as fat. But not only that, I think that it would have been okay if I started to eat a little bit and then went back to fasting. But to just go back to eating food, not working out, and not doing any kind of fasting or any kind of thing to kind of even maintain my weight, I think definitely contributed hugely to me gaining back all the weight that I had lost. The second thing that I think that really led to me gaining back the weight was that obviously during these fasts, I was depriving myself of foods that I really did enjoy. And so the moment I had the opportunity to go back to eating them, I just went like crazy and I began to binge eat. Because I had been desiring these foods for so long, the minute I was able to start eating them again, it was hard for me to stop. And I would make excuses and say, oh, well, it's because it's this event. Oh, well, it's because, you know, next week I'll get back on my diet. And I think that that is one of the worst things that we can do is, number one, to make excuses. And number two, to put it off and tell ourselves that, oh, okay, well, I can just do this now and I will like get back on it later. Because oftentimes we won't. So those first two reasons is one of the biggest reasons why I always talk about that the best weight loss plan is going to be one that is sustainable, one that you're going to be able to do long term, not just something like juicing and stuff like that. They may be good for a short term, but you have to have a plan that where you slowly integrate back food and that it's in a controlled fashion, that you're not just going to go wild and eat the whole world and expect that you're not going to gain back that weight. The most efficient way to actually lose weight is to do something that you can do on a long term that is not a diet, but it's more of a way of life for you. The third thing that I think that led to me gaining back the weight was emotional eating. I believe that one of the things that we often tend to do is when we're happy, we eat. When we're sad, we eat. When we're mad, we eat. Whatever it is, we tend to use food as our prize. If we're sad, we use it to kind of make ourselves feel better. If we're happy, we celebrate by going out for dinner or having some kind of party. We evolve our whole lives around food. Around that time, obviously being a newer mom, leaving the church where I was, and just a lot of things that was going on in my life, I believe that I kind of used food as a comfort and I began to kind of use it as my crutch. This is why it is so important for us to also take care of our mental health. Our mental health has a lot to do with our physical health, more than we probably know. And I actually plan to do a video talking about how I believe that my mental health played a huge part in me gaining back the weight that I did.
I had to get some water.
That's better. The fourth thing that I think that definitely led to me gaining back a lot of the weight was basically putting off working out. If I felt like I wasn't going to be able to get a full workout in because maybe I had something to do later, I would just put it off. Or if I just wasn't feeling well, again, I would just make excuses and tell myself that, oh, okay, well, I'm not going to go today. And I think that when we begin to do that, we kind of set that kind of standard already. We kind of give ourselves that little bit of wiggle room, and then it becomes a habit and we start putting it off and putting it off. And this is where I'm going to insert a bonus reason why I think I began to gain the weight back. And that is being in denial. A lot of the times we ourselves don't notice. Even when you're losing weight, sometimes you often don't see it until you notice that maybe your clothes are starting to feel a little bit different, or you start to get people commenting on your weight loss. That's when you kind of realize. But I think that even with weight gain, sometimes you just don't see it. You don't see that it's happening. You may see like 5 pounds here, like, oh, it's just 5 pounds. I'll lose that again next time. Or like, you just start to make excuses and you begin to get into denial. And before you know it, you've gained like 30, 40 pounds. And, then you start emotional eating because you're so frustrated about the fact that you've gained back the weight. And it just becomes a very vicious cycle. And the fifth thing that I definitely think contributed to me gaining back all of that weight was having a workout partner. Now, hear me and hear me well. it is definitely good to have people that motivate you, people that can go working out with you, and people that are on the journey with you, because you guys can support each other, you guys can give each other tips, you guys can be there to spot each other at the gym, or whatever the case may be. It's obviously good to have support, have motivation. However, when it becomes a problem is if your whole weight loss journey is surrounded by this person. And that's what used to happen to me. Oftentimes I would plan that I was going to the gym with my friend, and then if they were not able to make it, I just would not go. And like when it started to become a pattern, then I would start making excuses, and before you knew it, I was totally off of my workout schedule. So a tip that I would say to help prevent that is to just be consistent. If you do have a workout partner and they are not able to make it, that doesn't mean that you can't go. You can go, and maybe you even meet new people at the gym that you can kind of connect with. Or if not, just go and get yourself your own workout. At the end of the day, you are the only one that can reach your goal. And if you surround your goal based on somebody else, you will never get there. So what you can do is, if you guys carpool, maybe start going on your own, finding your own way there and your own way back. That way, if you're in the middle of your workout and that person gets a call for an emergency and they have to go, you can continue on your workout. Or if they're not able to make it, you're not out of a ride, you can still go. Because the minute that you start, as I said, to surround your workout and your weight loss and your fitness journey on somebody else's journey, you are not going to be able to succeed. Because as soon as they start pulling back and they start maybe, you know, getting back to eating the way that they were, or just not feeling motivated anymore, then that's also going to demotivate you as well. So guys, these are basically just some 5 things that I think really affected me and caused me to gain back over 100 pounds that I had lost. And I wanted to share this video with you so that hopefully that you guys will not make any of the same mistakes, but not only that, so that I won't make any of these same mistakes on this new journey. I am definitely going to get there, and you can too. Again, if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure that you click that subscribe button below and the bell so that you can get notified of every time that I create a new video. If you have had any of these things happen to you, or any other times that you were on a weight loss plan and then it kind of flopped, what was the cause of your weight loss flop? What caused you to get off of your journey? Let me know in the comment section below to help others, as well as to help me, so that I can make sure that it doesn't happen to me. This time is our time. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.